Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to your last live session of NASIC 2025. If you would like to use closed captions, you can choose Show Captions at the bottom of the screen. Today this session is Chart Your Course to eResources Success, a Team Approach. It is being presented by Lee Ma, Associate Director for Content and Discovery at Duke University Medical Center Library. So I will let Lee take it away.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, everyone. I will share my screen. Okay. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining me today for this presentation on Chart Your Course to eResource Success, a Team Approach. My name is Lee Ma. I am from Duke University Medical Center Library. Today, I'll share our experiences managing eResource access and explain why a team-based approach isn't just beneficial, it is essential for success. If you have questions during the presentation, please post them in the Q&A section and I'll address them at the end. Okay, with that, I will turn off my camera and start our presentation. Yes. Before we dive into the details, I'll just give a quick overview of what we will cover. I will cover today. First, we'll take a quick look at electronic resources, their critical value, advantages, and the complex challenges they present. Next, we'll discuss why a team approach is essential for eResource success. Third, I will share some case studies from our library, showcasing some real-world examples. And finally, we'll look at the success factors and best practices for building effective resource teams. So a little bit about us. Duke University Medical Center Library provides services and resources in support of the educational, clinical, and research mission of Duke Health. The eResource team is part of an integrated department which consists of collection services and access services. The significance of electronic resources in today's world cannot be overstated. In our library, over 99% of our materials budget is allocated to electronic resources. They provide immediate 24/7 access from anywhere. Multiple users can access the same resources simultaneously. Advanced searchability and discoverability, enhance research efficiency. Regular updates ensure current information. Usage stats can be used for evidence-based collection decisions. I think we are all too familiar with all this. However, these valuable resources don't come without their complications. let's look at some challenges associated with access to electronic resources. First, on the technical side, authentication complexity. Libraries must navigate multiple authentication methods and technologies, IP authentication, proxy servers, various SSO implementations. Each method has its own configuration requirements and potential failure points. Network security. Security software and configurations can create significant barriers to access. We will look at some examples later. Browser and device-specific behaviors affecting resource access and functionality. Linking mechanisms that break or behave inconsistently. The complex chain of links that connects a citation to full text can break at any point. On the content side, entitlement management, determining and maintaining appropriate access rights means knowing exactly what we've licensed for who. This information can be surprisingly difficult to track across multiple platforms and agreements. Journal and platform changes, managing title changes, migrations, and platform updates. Publishers regularly move journals between platforms, requiring constant updates in our systems. Vendor metadata quality issues affecting discovery and linking, even when our systems are perfectly configured and maintained. If we receive poor metadata from vendors, users simply won't find the resources they need in a system. Knowledge base maintenance. Keeping the knowledge base updated with accurate holdings, information, and linking requires continuous attention and expertise. And finally, on the user side, managing expectations for seamless 24/7 access. Users expect simplicity for complex academic resources and helping them understand the realities without causing frustration requires careful communication. Maintaining effective communication during service disruptions. When systems fail, clear and timely communication becomes critical to maintaining trust with our user community. Given the complexity of these challenges we've just discussed, the answer becomes clear. A team approach is not just beneficial, it is essential for effective e-resource access management. The multifaceted nature of this access demands a collaborative solution where diverse expertise works in concert. Let's examine who needs to be at the table to form an effective e-resource access and troubleshooting team. The core library team. So first of all, a successful e-resource access team brings together expertise from all stakeholders. The first part is core library team. That includes e-resource librarians who coordinate access management, acquisition specialists who can handle licensing and procurement, library systems, IT personnel who manages ILS and other discovery tools, as well as networking security tools, metadata cataloging staff who ensure proper resource description and discovery, user experience specialists who advocate for intuitive access. Other extended partners include campus IT professionals with authentication, network, and security expertise, our vendor technical support for platform-specific issues, and our account representative for customer service questions. Before diving into case studies, it's important to understand the unique technology and security environment at our medical center campus, as it affects every aspect of our resource access. Multi-layered security infrastructure. Our medical center operates under heightened security requirements. The implementation of Zscaler cloud security a few years ago serves as an important backdrop for understanding our approach to eResource troubleshooting. This major security upgrade was completed before I joined the library, and I want to give full credit to the original team who handled this complex transition and developed creative solutions. The foundation they established has been invaluable to our current work. However, as with any complex technological implementation, new issues related to Zscaler continue to emerge, particularly as vendors update their platforms and security protocols. Our current team has built upon our predecessors' excellent groundwork while identifying and solving entirely new types of access issues that weren't apparent during the initial implementation. The following case studies demonstrate how we have extended this collaborative problem-solving foundation through creative thinking and innovative approaches. I'm going to share some of our real world case studies to demonstrate the complexity of the access challenges that we have faced. Case study number one, the invisible security barrier. So our library staff reported they couldn't access many resources they used to be able to from their office computers. Yet we hadn't received reports from our patients. This is what we did after we received the reports. We were able to replicate the issue on our library computers, and we confirmed we had access via off-campus and on the main campus network where no Zscaler no Zscaler app was installed. And we confirmed there was no change of IP ranges on the vendor side. And we also confirmed that this particular the resources that were in question were all whitelisted on our security system. And we also verified that the vendors' domains remained unchanged. So the next step was to report the issue to our medical campus IT team, and we got together and troubleshooted it together. And we discovered a newly installed Zscaler protocol for the library computers that required additional configuration. So our IT team were able to adjust the setting and resolve the issue. Case number two, the inconsistent access mystery. A faculty member couldn't access a critical resource from their office. And soon after, we received multiple additional reports about the same resource from various on-site locations. Again, our team took the following steps. First, unfortunately, we could not replicate the issue on the library computers. And we also confirmed that we did have access via off-campus and via the main campus network. And no changes of IP ranges was made by the vendor. And the resources, this resource was also whitelisted in our security system. And the domains were the same as before. So again, we got together with our IT team and did quite comprehensive troubleshooting across different network configurations. So we identified inconsistent behavior with computers with Zscaler applications installed. And IT were able to work with Zscaler vendor to make some changes to the configuration and solved this particular issue. Another example, domain change disruption. So a few patients reported bad links within a major database. Like before, we repeated the regular the testing steps. We were able to replicate this issue on the computers, inside the library. And what we discovered is that the vendor had made changes to their domains, and we got a updated list of all their domains associated with that database, and we forward those to our IT, and they were able to whitelist those new domains, and the issue was resolved. So these are 3 examples of Zscaler access related issues. And next, let's look at some other type of issues. This one has to do with vendor response. So a critical resource was down, but the vendor's customer service was a bit slow to respond meaningfully. So our escalation protocol engaged higher level contacts at the vendor side, using established relationships to expedite the problem solving and resolution. And even though it still took a while, but the issue was eventually resolved. Next one is a proxy recognition failure. Probably many of you have experienced this before. So a vendor's system all of a sudden stopped recognizing our proxy server, and it's affecting off-campus access to a critical resource. While the vendor was diligently working on finding a solution, we were able to negotiate with the vendor and got a alternative access link, so that minimize the interruption for our patrons. Case number 6, interlibrary loan and e-access intersection. as all you know, library discovery system is designed to seamlessly transition users from search to access. Or when content isn't available, to automatically populate an interlibrary loan request form with citation data. This integration saves users significant time and reduces errors by eliminating manual data entry. One day, our interlibrary loan staff reported a concerning pattern. Citation data was suddenly failing to populate correctly in our interlibrary loan request forms. So our metadata specialist and the interlibrary loan coordinator and our library IT collaborated to investigate the root cause. And we were able to develop a comprehensive solution that restored full functionality. Next example is about discovery system inconsistencies. The users reported being unable to access an article through one discovery system, but they could successfully access it through another system. Our team worked to find the root cause of the problem. After extensive testing, we were able to replicate the issue, and we notified the discovery vendor, and they were able to examine the metadata on their side and identified the error. So they were able to make some changes and restore the access. Last but not the least is hidden article discovery. This happens, I think, probably on a it's probably happens in a different kind of libraries. A patron couldn't find an article in the library discovery tool, even though the library subscribes to the journal it was published in. So as we examined the metadata citation, and we discovered that the issue had to do with lacking of the title information in knowledge base, which means this journal had changed the titles, but not all the titles information was in the knowledge base. So we worked together to ensure all title access points were added to the knowledge base. And then we also notified the publisher to make sure their knowledge, the data they sent to the knowledge base was up to date. So these case studies illustrate how our team has successfully solved specific e-resource access challenges. While each solution was unique to its particular problem, these successes weren't simply the result of technical expertise. They emerged from consistent organizational practices and team dynamics that enable effective problem solving. So next, I'd like to look at some critical success factors that enable our team to solve all these different challenges. As mentioned, while the technical components of e-resource access management are critical, the success really lies in how well teams collaborate, communicate, and continuously improve. Our experience has shown that human and organizational factors are just as vital as technical knowledge in building a successful e-resource team. First among the success factors is excellence in customer service. When access problems occur, our approach to users becomes just as important as our technical solution. This means promptness, responding quickly to access issues. It requires empathy, understanding, and acknowledging user frustration when resources are inaccessible. It demands transparency, keeping users informed about the status of problems and expected resolution time. Beyond customer service, successfully navigating eResource challenges requires cultivating the right team environment. This starts with a shared commitment to quick problem solving, team members who are passionate about finding solutions rather than simply documenting problems. The solution oriented mindset becomes contagious and drives the entire team forward. It requires open minded collaboration on multiple levels, acknowledging issues and diagnosing them thoroughly without quick dismissal, encouraging issue reporting, brainstorming, and brave guesses without judgment, and fostering an environment of active listening and idea sharing where all perspectives are valued. Recognition plays a crucial role, giving credit and thanks to team members who contribute to solutions reinforces collaborative behavior and celebrates collective achievement. Team expertise growth is essential. Investing in continuous learning and skill development ensures the team can adapt to evolving technologies and challenges. So finally, camaraderie becomes the glue that holds everything together, building relationships that support collaboration during stressful situations. When team members genuinely care about each other, they're more likely to help, share knowledge, and work together effectively when problems arise. From our experience, successful e-resource management depends on three distinct yet interrelated skills, what I call the 3 Cs. Communication, clear information exchange when reporting issues, explaining technical details, and updating stakeholders on access disruptions. Coordination, efficiently mobilizing the right experts to quickly restore access. Collaboration, working across departmental boundaries to solve complex access problems that no single specialist can resolve alone. When these skills work in concert, libraries can significantly reduce access disruption time, improve user satisfaction, and develop more resilient teams. I'd like to dig a little deeper into the first C, communication. When communicating about e-resource issues, we should focus on users' needs. This means meeting users where they are by tailoring messages appropriately for technical versus non-technical audiences. It requires translating complexity, explaining technical issues in accessible language without oversimplification. It includes demonstrating empathy by acknowledging frustration while providing clear paths forward. And it asks for providing context, helping users understand not just what's happening, but why it matters to their work. While human factors are crucial, core technical expertise remain foundational to our access, which includes authentic knowledge of authentication systems, network security, discovery systems, metadata, e-resource lifecycle management, and cross-system integration. Equally important are process management skills, proactive monitoring, active, appropriate escalation, persistent, and patience through the process of problem solving and continuing learning. Now, I'd like to talk about some best practices for building your e-resource team based on these success factors. The first is about team structure and development. Um, implement a tier support system with clear responsibilities. I think it's very helpful in defining the roles and also escalating the complicated access issues. Secondly, establish formal and informal mentoring between technical specialists and newer team members. Build redundancy for critical skills to prevent single point of failure. On the operational side, develop shared troubleshooting protocols that standardize initial response steps. Create escalation matrices that clarify when and how to involve additional expertise. Implement centralized issue tracking system accessible to all team members. Equip frontline staff with prompt updates on new issues and workarounds to minimize service interruptions, and schedule regular review of recurring issues to identify root causes, and develop centralized documentation for different audiences. Okay, as we have explored throughout this presentation, the complex challenges of e-resource access management cannot be solved by individuals working in isolation. The case studies we've examined demonstrate how team collaboration, cross-functional teamwork, user-centered communication, and creative problem solving empower libraries to address even the most difficult access challenges. By cultivating 3 C's, communication, coordination, and collaboration, and implementing the best practices we've discussed, I believe libraries can significantly enhance team expertise, reduce service disruptions, and improve user satisfaction. Last, most importantly, when we break down departmental silos and bring diverse expertise together, we transform e-resource management from a series of reactive troubleshooting incidents into a proactive strategic service that advances our core mission, which is to provide seamless access and to the critical information resources our users need. Okay, this ends my presentation, and I welcome any questions.
Hey, Lee. I don't have anything in the Q&A right now,
Okay.
but I will keep an eye on it. Please, anyone, if you have questions, put them in the Q&A. Thank you so much for your presentation. I work a lot in troubleshooting, and I can say that a lot of the problems, and I think everybody can relate to this, is, these problems can really unravel your day or even your week, so that patience and persistence that you mentioned is really important. And I've got a couple in the Q&A. Um, we have someone saying great presentation. And also, what local system and ERM do you use?
Yeah, we just migrated to Alma last year. Um, yes, so Alma is the system we use to manage the electronic resources, and I think on the front end we use Summon as a discovery.
Great. The next question I have is, do you have an example of the escalation matrix?
Currently, I think our tiers is mostly just like a two tiers. There are some we have two team members doing troubleshooting, and we have a third as backup. So our first tier handles just more routine. I mean, started with a routine tickets, and I provide ongoing coaching. So the tier level actually is increasing, and but for the ones for the new issues, something we never run into before, that might just pass on to me. I kind of serve as a second tier. And so we have a standard expectation of response time. It's like 24 to 48 hours. And if the issue does not get resolved with a few days, if and then we will checking. We will see if additional steps will be needed, and look at is it the vendor response time, or is it the difficulty, the complexity of the issue itself? Yeah, and also how widely is this resource affecting? In terms of to determine the urgency, that's also a factor to escalate, to determine whether to escalate or not. Yeah, for our, I think, medical campus, there are some clinical resources. Those are usually, are quite time sensitive. Um, to based, to look at who are who are actively using the resources. I think that plays a big role to determine when and whether to escalate certain tickets.
Great. The next question here, I think you kind of answered already, but I'll ask it anyways. How many members do you have on your team?
Oh, yeah, where our team is very small. We currently have 5 team members, but it covers access services, interlibrary loan, and collection services. So the team is small, but I think we have a unique advantage is that we have pretty much all resource related functionalities within our department. So our communicate that helps us understand the issues from all angles within our team. I think that really is a big advantage within our specific setting.
Great. We've got another question. How do you keep Zscaler whitelist up to date given how dynamic eResources content can be?
Yeah, very good question. It is not easy. I Like I said, this skill was implemented in our institution a few years back. I think my predecessor did a great job to make sure the major resources I think that are listed there, but we still occasionally uh, get reports for resources that haven't been haven't been whitelisted. In that case, we would just send the information to our IT and to add that. So that is Zscaler issue is it it's very common on our. I mean, from a troubleshooting point of view, that's the first thing to try to test to determine whether it's a Zscaler related or not. But yeah, to keeping it up, it's hard. Um, yeah.
I don't see any more questions in the Q&A, but in the chat, you do have someone mentioning how you used really good examples and how the three C's are a good takeaway. We have a
Thank you.
couple minutes left. Yeah. If anyone has any more questions. And everyone, please remember that this presentation and all the other concurrent sessions are recorded, so you can always go back and rewatch or check on anything you missed. And we have someone asking if you will post the slides. And I think the slides might be in.
Uh, yeah, sure. I probably haven't, but I definitely I can. Yes. Um,
Oh, in Sched, yeah. I think that someone from one of the committees can reach out
okay.
about the slides. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for all these great questions, and thank you for being here for this last session of the conference. Yeah, e-resource troubleshooting is always challenging, but if you are passionate about it, it's always fun.
Well, thank you very much. And thank you to everybody who attended NASIG 2025. And if you have any questions, please feel free to follow up with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarah.